Songs of a Hairless Tongue. Please welcome P.C. Tavárez.
Hi, my name is Paola. I write poems. My bio's out of date. I started a series called Impossible Correspondences, the Epistolary Lovers series, where I take two characters from classic literature who shouldn't know each other, and I pluck them in a decade they shouldn't be in, and then they start talking online or texting or payphone calls, depending on the character. So I'll be reading from that this evening, but I wanted to start with a poem that was just accepted by the Literary Underground. Thank you. This poem is called Alone at My House with the Dogs. Alone at my mom's house with the dogs. There are lizards everywhere. They sit varied in species, dozens watching perched on the flat wood of each fence post top. They make me feel important, watching me like that. Are they waiting for me to open my mouth and go boom? It's whatever anyway. I am the water is me. Did you know Caligula means bootykins? Honestly, Gaius was a bitch, and they etched his story on the stones of Earth's lore. How humiliating. Like, Henry Tudor was a paranoiac and an honest idiot, a full phony baloney, a castle full of women's blood and dead babies and dashed dreams all around. But me? I just want to be watercolor. Pigments don't last, figments don't stay. I am like way too blue, ask Drake. He knew. Wash off sailor, heave ho, go play, rinse me away. I am, can be, made new every day. Gonna save the lovers for the end. These are two poems from my book, I'm Sorry, I'm Just a Girl and Other Lunacies. First poem is, a girl in sheep's clothing is twice as unsafe. Was it that I feigned, doe-like, to then suddenly rear and rage with my head, with my hooves? Was it my sheepishness, the twitch of my nose, the bat of my lash, the rhythm of my step? I bet I must smell of prey. This one is called Entrapment. Where do they imprison those that betray true love? In the dungeon of a castle by the sea? In a cell on the highest mountains of fidelity? What trap was laid? Love me and never leave. Keep me here as an ornament that sings, gifted rings, the kind that singe and sting, gilded chairs too uncomfortable to sit or breathe, a corset of choices tightened so I cannot eat, a bed stacked on a pea, pillows wriggle with vermin and I cannot sleep. Is this where they keep you? Is this where they'll keep me? I have a short poem in here called Lament for the Parched, and it says, Father was a dry well, mother was a sieve, I was born thirsty. I'll read from Esther and Holden, which imagines Esther Greenwood and Holden Caulfield meeting in the year 2000 in an AOL chat room. Part 1. Spring again. A millennia passed, and the speakers shouting, "You got mail," hurts my ears. The poems that slink up into life, into tree branches, into power lines, out of my mouth, out of fingers and shivers. Gift me the sculpted Madonna, the Mother Virgin. Plant near her knockout roses and water them in blood. All hymns shout of mea culpa and chirp cantos of the Rose Bride. Ah, sweet goddess, too, I envy the turnip. I wish to reinvent myself as a beet. Watermelon radish. Incubated in the cradle of the dirt womb, I need to log off. I need to spend more time outside, more time outside. I knew I was never a little girl to begin with. I was always just this groundling, a mud person, a humiliated worm, haunting millennial chat rooms. Welcome back, Analyze 69. Hanging on the wire at night, watching an animated pacifist blonde slinging guns, watching ghosts in shells and the bane of wolves, a world full of tunes from across the world. I escape here when the mud grows tired of me, when the grackles and the finches hail my time and the sun has long passed, when the yard becomes all bats and lanterns. I retreat inside, beckoned to the cold shine, the grabbing glow, the raucous symphony of dialing up into the dark woods of an open world where I can be anyone. Welcome back, Analyze 69. Part 7. The stranger comes robed in red flags, and I look very good in red. Oh, yes, I do. Maybe I'm exhausted of love, or plumb tired, or maybe I'm quite bored. I tell him that my crops have sprouted, and the weeds have spread, how my life is very complicated. Maybe I'd tell him about it sometime, or maybe I wouldn't. Ketchum, 9-5, and a bunch of numbers. I wish I had the courage to be no one. Suddenly I see me on the edge in the rye, arms crossed, sullen-faced, catching no one, letting all the running people fall off the edge, the fig tree of possibilities withering in the heights. Maybe I don't need to be loved. Maybe I need to burn the shape of me onto the leather of the world. That was the first book in my Impossible Correspondences series, and this is the second book, which imagines Louis Dupont-de-Lac from Interview with the Vampire and the Vampire Chronicles meeting Miss Holliday Golightly from Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's, and they met one night in South Florida at a 7-Eleven and don't remember getting each other's numbers. I guess I'll start with part 1. I find myself to be a 5'6", 100-pound fleshy mess of confusion, contradiction, conflict, and consequence. I said this before when I was young. It's sickening to say it again. See, nothing has changed. You wouldn't know, but really everything is just the same. I swear I'm no phony, and you don't smell like a rat. You seem rather sad. I don't know the patterns of strange men, not one or another or even this one. Admittedly, we don't know what we are doing here within the many layers of what are we doing here can even mean, and then also, what does our meaning do here anyway? Then you say, I am just some man or not man, something or nothing existing in the self-aware nightmare of my own inner conflict, happily listening to your rants when you share them. And here we find ourselves on these disgusting new phones, all T9 trauma dumps on Sidekick and BlackBerry, and keys that rub away from the daily attack of my fingertips, gagged on Gaga, frozen show recordings, TiVo innovation, post-dial-up modem, Ashley Madison peak, and 9/11 was so 5 years ago, I say. And you know, jet fuel can't melt steel beams, or at least that's what they say anyway. You seem a bit fringe. Do you believe in that kind of thing? Part 4. I'm good on time. Okay, great. Sorry. Okay. Part 4. But anyway, enough about me. Tell me your stories. Tell me, where are you? What are you reading and what are you like? And if things were perfect, where would you go? Do you know what I want? I know what I want, but I also don't. I know about the night sky in 20th century American poetry. I lay in grass until it itches me deadly, but it's worth it. Have the sky in my face, the world at my back. Do you like that sort of thing? And what if I am using you as fodder for poems? Is that even ethical? And how does that make you feel? Wild how my laughter asks us questions we cannot hear. Who knows? I don't think it matters in the end anyway. Louis, whatever you are or I am or this is, or even the evil architecture of the world, the golden goodness people claim, the drum beats, belting vocals, the music of your mind, the pretty poetry of my little chicken heart, shelter from the falling sky, I see it there, I swear, and oh, quel disastro, Louis. I just want to connect, feel good, make art, and experience things to make more art about. Maybe get heartbroken enough to believe in God again, or the death of God again, or something vapid and stupid like that. share one last one from Louie and Holly before I move on. This one is part 6. I saw the moon tonight. No one else saw it the way I did, or at all. I drank the moon right down while no one was watching in many stealthy swigs between lonely lips, shaped by the trafficked and the traffickers' ships. The moon began to glow within me, all liquid drought of night skyland, of dark day, of velvet navy, of speckled black. Oh, Louis, mon cher, no one else drank the moon in like I did, drank it down without even a gulp to make a sound. I want to know more. Anyway, I can't sleep, and there aren't any stars here, Louis. It's all bright night and palm trees and trafficking lights and wild pothos and ibis birds. I can't see Orion like I used to, Louis. I can't even see it at all. I don't have my own copy of the 3rd book of this series, which imagines Clarissa Dalloway and Dmitry Karamazov meeting. I didn't specify how they meet, but they're in the 80s and they're here in Bloomington and Indianapolis. I'll start with, I didn't bring part 1 with me. I should have probably, but I'll start with part 5, if that work. I am home alone again with the wound of myself, with the full infection of the lost love I will forever grieve, with the hallway of quiet I curated for him, the bedraggled, smelly kitchen now clean, no more piles of his things. Everything is heavily mine. I love the loving of my solitude and hate the hating of my loneliness. I want to bottle a girlish fantasy and swig her down. I want to live in some dream life of my own creation, a beautiful man with nothing but longing and no agenda, some free agent meant to feed me my own beauty in order to suffocate or infect me with some kind of belief in myself again. Inflame, encourage, evoke, whose swagger I emanate as a facade. I want to be swallowed up, chewed, and spit out, reformed as holy and worthy of anything at all. This is part 6. I, with a heart full of bass, a chest full of poetry, a brain splashed Prosecco, and a lonely mouth. This is my party, isn't it? This is my house, and these are my friends. Maybe this is my neighborhood now, or maybe this is my neighborhood before. This body here now, pulsing with technotronic, quivering sans yoke fellow outside of consortium, on the parameters of myself, cautious and hungry, wonted, always unwanted. This trailing back peliferous memories, Mister with the cats in the bed before sunup, the silver streaks of his thick long hair over his shoulders, one meaty hand threatens to fall off the bed. Oh wow, okay. I undertie and new one. I got another cookie. And it's hot. Can I do that? Is that okay? This is my first book, That's Not Love, That's a Live Grenade. I don't have any of my own copies of it right now, except for this rat-eaten one.
Well loved.
No, the rat ate it.
Oh, the rat.
It's bites of rat bites in it.
It's a little.
Yeah.
You're being literal.
Yeah, I'm being literal. This is the first poem I ever had published in some random thing I found online when I was a teenager, and I wrote it in 2009. It's called Bluebeard. Bluebeard, Bluebeard, you stink of bleach and berries. Your eyes are feline canoes of bruised fruit and dusty obsidian stones. You cry only when you need to feel like God, and you laugh only when you feel like hell. You sunk the last galleon, rusted cannons, splintered deck and all, and left it to rest beneath the reflection of a cloud. which whilst admiring itself sank also into the public pool of your childhood, the one between church and school. This is where for many years you lost a number of things, hundreds of nickels and dimes, a pair of swimmer's goggles, the necklace of bones she gave you, fingernails, the kisses you tried to steal but hadn't strength to, the hands you kept behind your back. Bring songs of a hairless tongue with me. I haven't published this yet, but this is an ode to my culture and being a diasporic Caribbean person and my family and politics and things of that nature. So this poem is called Concord Conquered. Cover my country in the dust of the Parisian catacombs. Let the powdered marrow of Louis and Marie waft up the nose of the American bourgeoisie. Would their homes to wobble and sink into the eldritch horror galleries beneath. The failed Robespierres and Marats of contemporary January rebellion. The clumsy trashing, the accidental murder, all this, there's no going back. Make it bones beneath the people's feet. Where Paris holds 1,343, how many fascist beasts must meet the constituency's quota at the non-monarchical democratic guillotine, whose rhythmed march kicks up and swirls evolutions of revolutions unfurled? This is a short poem that was inspired by a Charles Manson quote. The quote is, "Fear of Vikings build castles," and the poem is called Paranoiac. The mortar of catastrophic thinking sticks bricks of paranoia, impenetrable splash of moat, tar barrel, feral gator, rumbling clash of no one shall enter here, the neon sign of fear. I really love doing Fuck You, Marco Rubio, so I'm gonna do that one. I gotta find it. It says fuck you really big on it. And that'll probably my last one, I think, unless there's too much time.
Yeah, you're good.
One more is good?
Yeah.
Sweet, okay. I read this poem with all due disrespect. Fuck you, Marco Rubio. I hope every bite of ropa vieja Marco Rubio eats is dry and flavorless. I hope all his rice is crunchy. I hope his plátano is overripe and tastes like fermented shit. I hope all his cigars fall apart and taste metallic. I hope all the delicious oils and sugars of the tobacco leaf degrade and go stale. I hope when he lights it up, he chokes and goes green. Like a Pleasure Island jackass, because that's all he is. I hope Marco Rubio loses every game of dominoes he ever plays. I hope when he dances salsa, he trips over his two left feet, gives himself a shiner, and I hope everyone points and laughs at him. I hope when his idiot friends are done with their dastardly deeds, all the Caucasian and Anglo boots he licked kick him straight in the jaw and reject him for the little brown anchor baby he truly is. I'm Cuban, I can say that. I wish that in 1956, when his parents immigrated to the United States, they would have changed their minds and returned to the island to stay, or that his refugee Cuban relatives would have been sent back instead of allowed what this administration will not allow refugees and migrants detained by ICE today. So we wouldn't have to suffer their sniveling son growing up to betray his people in the land of the free and the home of the brave, carrying on his Spaniard colonist, white supremacist legacy all Cubans are burdened to defeat and divest from as a duty to ourselves and our history on the island or in the diaspora, to dispel the evil in our own colonial ancestry, to instead embrace all within us that is Arawakan, Taino, Indigenous, Iberian, Yoruba, Western, and Central African, to live our inherited ancestral diversity as an act of rebellion against the powers that blended us into this splendid color palette of skin on Caribbean island shores, on United States soil. Thank you.
Yeah.